Welcome to Legacy Conversations, a channel where we preserve military memories and history.
Hello, Internet. Good golly gosh. This is totally impromptu. A thought struck, and Kevin agreed to come and chat with us. Now, what brought this thought to my bone box is I'm part of one of Kevin's groups, a 3-2 battalion, and air crew, and a variety of other folk on that group. And Kevin just this morning put out a poll asking for memories of your 2,4. For you non-military folk, 2,4 was a standard measure in the military, fitness measure. And so you got to basics and you couldn't even crawl 2,4 in 5 hours. And by the time you clawed out, you were doing 2,4s in, good golly gosh, I can't remember times. So Kevin put a challenge out a week or so ago regarding September, which is upon us. Are we going to do 2,4s? Walk, crawl, whichever way you want to do it 2,4. And I said yes, because as you can see behind me, that's taken before 6 o'clock of a morning, not too long ago, in this month, or the past month of August. I was on that beach, as I say, before 6 o'clock. And I thought, yeah, when I'm on that beach, I can easily, over a period of 4 or 5 hours, do double the 2,4's time at my pace. So I said, yes, I'll put my hand up. And I promise you, it's well worth the exercise. But from my point of view, the more I'm upright, the more I breathe in fresh air outside, the better I feel in myself. And that's going to tie totally into what Kevin wants to tell us, what I've asked him to share with us. So, Kevin, it is so good of you to have volunteered your time and your effort and your energy to come and spread the word a little bit here with us. Thank you.
Okay, so this 2,4 that I put on the poll, there's a bit of background to it. So about 10 years ago, I'm 67 now, so about 10 years ago, I met these guys that are practicing longevity, okay? And what I discovered with the practicing of longevity is that it's all about changing your mindset. So if we look at conventional wisdom of how we were brought up and education, even time in the military, etc., okay, a lot of those principles don't necessarily apply, but it's just conventional wisdom. So I started to buy into this whole idea of longevity. And the one student, okay, that was in the classroom with me, he's a longevity expert, ex-cardiac surgeon, etc. And he said to me one day, it all starts with the mindsets. And what I was fascinated about when these longevity experts started to talk is how much time they spent on the mindsets. Obviously, they got touching into having your blood tested and the exercising and the eating and all of that stuff, but they focused heavily on the mindset. So the conclusion I actually came to is that, the body follows the mind. So what I started to do is I started to adapt a couple of things. So, for example, I used to go to the gym, so physically inside a gym. And one of the things I discovered with the mindset is that you've got to have a beginner's mind. So if you're pursuing this longevity program, you've got to have a beginner's mind. So what seemed to resonate with me was to say, well, hold on, let me just have a look at how do I actually perform now versus, for example, when I was in the army. And then obviously the 2,4 came up. So that immediately meant that I moved from being inside a gym, regardless of how hot it is or regardless of how cold it is, I train outside. So I brought a lot of my military exercises now into my regime, the press-ups. In actual fact, I've got a TRX straps that comes from the guy that used to be in the Navy SEALs. I do the 2,4 regularly, etc. And I'll tell you something now, what gave me, a positive sort of mindset towards longevity was that when I started to do these exercises, and I'm mindful of not hurting myself, because obviously as you get older, it takes longer to recover, is that, well, I wasn't a million miles away from how I was performing when I was in the military, even though that's like 40 odd years ago. So I thought to myself, hey, why don't you put the challenge actually out there? Because I think that many would see the benefit, okay, if they're at a stage in their life where they're saying, yeah, I want to perhaps embrace longevity a bit different to the way I'm actually approaching it at the moment.
Absolutely, Kevin. I would like you to just share too that you do this quarterly session. I was part of it. The name escapes me, but it starts off with this mindset, the longevity mindset. And then you touch on other topics like health and well-being and. Yes, as soon as we start somewhere, as you said, a beginner's mindset. But the point of the matter is, I have seen the benefits of setting simple beginner's targets for myself at my age to get a little bit better at looking after my health. That, to me, that was key. Looking after my health a little bit better, because I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic donkeys years ago. And they shove you on medication, and I've come off most of the medications because I'm looking after myself the way we should look after ourselves without pharma interfering in our lives. But the point of the matter is, the challenge, Kevin's challenge, is open.
To understand you correctly, I've got a group for longevity, and I run it. It's like a 90-day one. I don't run it every quarter. So, for example, this quarter I'm not running it, but I'll run it again from October through to the end of December. Then we can go through the mindsets and everything there. But in the meantime, on this other group, which is predominantly, ex-SAF guys and 3-2 and special forces, there's just a 2,4 that I've put there. But yes, I've got a program. And as I said, I'm no expert. Okay, I'm not in that industry. I'm just a student of longevity. So this mindset and the things that follow with it, it's stuff that I've been using for the last decade.
Okay, so for now, this particular video is going all about getting people to partake in the challenge. Now, as I'm going to go back to what Kevin's latest post on there was, what are your memories? And quite a few people, and folk, I recognize some stellar names amongst the respondents there. Quite a few people said they got no memories. And I thought, no, well, and I chirped Kevin back, and I said, well, one of my best memories from 2,4s was running 2,4s with a serious red hot drum bubblers and still beating some other folk. So yeah, that's one of my memories. The other memory that I also said there was well-being and getting through injuries and the likes. I did a whole load of course 2,4s with a buggered rugby knee. And yes, it takes a bit of gritting the teeth to do that. And am I any the worse for wear? Yes, my knee is telling me this morning I must take it easy for the next week. So we still have all those kinds of memories. I often wonder about, and when Kevin put that 2,4 challenge out there, I just thought, this is too good to not partake. So I'm inviting all of you out there, get stuck into this. So
what I'll do is I'll actually provide you, with the links.
okay, that'll be great. Thank you very much.
Okay, my friend.
Okay, All of
Cheers.
you out there, the challenge stands. As you heard, Kevin will provide the WhatsApp link. So until we chat again, God bless.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications.